Like there'll be people that like they'll DM me and be like, you see what your boy's doing? You voted for this. I'm like, I voted for none of this. He's doing the exact opposite of everything I voted for.
Yeah.
I want him to stop the wars. He's funding them. I want him to shrink spending, reduce the budget. He's increasing it. It's like everything that he said he's going to do, except sending immigrants back. And now he's even flip-flopped on that, which I kind of like. But he's like, oh, well, we kind of need the...
That's kind of... Isn't that like a contradictory right there?
People working in restaurants, and we need our farmers. It's like everything that he said that he was going to do that he campaigned.
Well, he said to us, which was important.
All right, so after about 5 short months of Trump being president, the podcast bros and the Rogan sphere are already backpedaling on voting for him and publicly supporting him.
I also like it that it's only been a couple months, and now they're like, oh shit, it hasn't even been a full year, and this man has created chaos since day one.
On their podcasts to hundreds of millions of voters in America. Like as you just saw, Andrew Schulz is completely baffled by what Trump has done in office since being elected, claiming he voted for none of what Trump has been doing. Let's not forget that this is the same guy who was all giddy and excited at the thought of his podcast swaying the election after their Trump interview.
It's not close anymore. Is that the energy y'all felt?
You're a prisoner of the moment.
Yeah, you really are.
We know that about me.
Right.
We know that about me.
Before Trump came on, you're like, yeah, it could go either way. It's very close.
No, before he came on, I was like, he don't got a chance. I was like, he's coming on here. He got to be down bad. He got to be down. I mean, no, we're the best. He got to be down bad. And then after the interview, obviously we saw the reaction.
And you got 20 or 25 text messages, and you were like, this guy's winning.
Listen, it wasn't the 20 or 25 text messages. You know what it was? It was the looks on the street.
So yeah, very idiotic.
It was based on vibes. Like this, like also, well, the smartest thing that Trump did was to go on to podcast and promote himself, right? A lot of people said that to Kamala, and she should have done that more, and I think it would have helped her out. But since Trump did it, and also J.D. Vance did it, it did sway the election. I think it got more people to vote that were younger, and Andrew Schulz saw maybe like the backside of it and how the numbers were doing, and maybe getting all these new people into his show, and he kind of like was blinded by the money, and like how American Redact said, he was also previously talking a whole lot of shit about the previous administration doing the worst job, and now as politics, how it goes is like, all right, we're done with you. You've been in the office, now we need a Republican. And then now we're done with Republican, now we need a Democrat. And then we're done with a Democrat. It goes like that. It goes back and forth, right? And he fell into that.
Idiotic stuff coming from the Flagrant podcast, as always. But honestly, you can't blame Andrew Schulz for behaving this way. Because after all, he's just following the Joe Rogan blueprint as he's done since the very beginning. Joe Rogan was the guy who made this Waluigi lookalike so successful. He's the guy who inspired Andrew to start a podcast. And he's the guy who probably set up the Donald Trump interview. So if you're going to point fingers at this stuff, point them at the guy who they're standing in the very short 5'5" shadow of at best, Joseph 250 Rogan. Joe Rogan is also shocked at Donald Trump doing exactly what he said he was going to do, as he was just criticizing Donald Trump and his immigration policies in a recent podcast he did, calling these policies insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
We were told there would be there's two things that are insane. One is the targeting of migrant workers.
Well, what did you not understand when he said he was going to have a mass deportation, right? Like, do you think all these immigrants that he was going to kick out were all criminals? Like the majority, like how many they are? Like, I don't know, a rough estimate of how many immigrants there are in the U.S. Like, they're all criminals? No, like most of them, the majority are people that work. Like, in what do they call them? What do they call it? What was that word they're using? COVID. Essential workers. They were essential workers, and now they're getting kicked out because, hey, guess what? They're racist, okay? And then this is what I think is going to happen too, is that they're going to see all the money that they're losing, because you think white people are going to be working in the fields. You know, they're going to be picking cherries, picking strawberries, picking lettuce or whatever it might be. And, right? Like, no. We got. They're gonna get jobs as streamers and YouTubers. You think they're gonna be working out there? No, they knew Trump was a liar, a habitual liar, and they fell for it. Like, come on, dude. Like, are you gonna really think that Trump is the one that's gonna be honest with you and, you know, like, do great things? No.